The pitch at the Ageas Bowl may be a green one, but visitors Glamorgan were still able to execute their best batting performance of the season to cling on to the coattails of Hampshire at the halfway stage of their LV County Championship match. Replying to Hampshire's 316 in their first innings, Glamorgan resumed on the second morning on 13 without loss, but lost Gareth Rees in the third over with a leading edge to be caught and bowled by James Tomlinson. Glamorgan had added only 6 runs to their overnight total at this stage and may have feared the worst again given their batting frailties this year, but Nick James and Will Bragg were able to add 33 for the second wicket. James had made 15 when he edged an expansive drive off Chris Wood at 52 for 2. Glamorgan may have been up against it again had Marcus North been run out early on in his innings. He just made his ground, however, and Bragg benefited to the tune of 5 runs. Developing any partnerships of distinction has been a big problem for the Welshmen this season, but at last Bragg and North were able to do just that. North, now with his 6th county, knows all about Championship cricket and was an ideal overseas signing. He made a 79 on his Glamorgan debut and was soon going well again here. Bragg too has just started to find some form of late. He's certainly a talented player who sometimes lacked consistency with the bat, but this was turning out to be an important knock for both him and his team. Bragg was outscoring North, and a punching shot through the covers took into his second 50 in successive innings, having made 78 in the defeat to Derbyshire last week. This one had come off 97 balls. David Hughes, the ECB pitch inspector for this match, was back at the ground to study the state of the thickly grassed pitch, but the batsmen were having few problems with it. It was certainly the case that if the bowlers dropped the ball in short, it stood up to be hit, and hit it Bragg did, especially with cuts through the offside. Hughes later gave the pitch the all clear. North meanwhile made the most of anything over-pitched from the Hampshire attack, which didn't always apply the pressure they would have liked, and that allowed these two left-handers to add 96 for the third wicket in only 19 overs. So Bragg would have been bitterly disappointed to fall in the manner he did with a thick edge off an attempted drive to a wide ball from David Balcombe. Bragg had to go for 73. Glamorgan, to be fair, have managed some decent starts this year. Their problems have come with a number of horrendous collapses, but Ben Wright ensured that that wasn't going to happen on this day. Prior to this match, such collapses have meant that Glamorgan had mustered only 1 batting bonus point and only 21 points in all from 6 games. They would have felt so much happier that they added another point with the bat here, with only 3 wickets down. That became 4 the moment the 200 was reached. Right on 28, then Nick Balcombe to Liam Dawson for his 15th catch of the summer. North's wicket was now the big one as far as Hampshire were concerned, but he didn't look like getting out as he reached another half-century with his 9th 4. He'd been batting for 91 balls. The Australian's introduction into this team couldn't have come at a better time for Glamorgan. There is little doubt that he is a class act. But having got to 70, he was surprisingly bowled by Balcombe thanks to a complete misjudgment. A delighted Balcombe had claimed his 35th first-class wicket of the summer. He remains at the top of the bowling charts. He had no say in the wicket of Jim Allenby though, who was out for 8, flicking Kabir Ali to James Vince at mid-wicket, to leave Glamorgan on 234 for 6, 82 runs behind. Glamorgan looked to have a long tail, but they did well enough to see their side beyond 300 for a first innings lead, something they've not managed hitherto this summer. John Glover made 13 and then Nick James Tomlinson behind at 267 for 7. But Mark Wallace and Dean Kosker then took their team closer to Hampshire's 316 with an 8th wicket partnership of 20. Wallace departed with 13 needed for a third batting bonus point. On 27, he was out to the second new ball as Balcombe struck for the 4th time in the innings. In the end, Glamorgan owed a lot to Kosker for getting them to 300. Admittedly, not every shot of his went exactly where he wanted it to, but the majority did as he tried to emulate the efforts of Balcombe low down the Hampshire order on the first day. This was Kosker's best effort of the summer as he moved on to 40. He was left on that as the last 2 wickets fell quickly once Glamorgan had established a first innings lead. Will Owen was bowled by Tomlinson, the leg stump falling out of the ground with an apology, while Michael Reed was taken at short leg by Vince off Wood for a duck. The Welshman had made it to 327 all out to lead on first innings by 11 runs, which effectively means that we now had a one-innings match over the course of the last 2 days. Jimmy Adams and Dawson made sure that they didn't enter those at a disadvantage and put on 25 runs before stumps. So it's Hampshire who lead by 14 runs with all of their second innings wickets intact in what is now shaping up to be a very interesting game of cricket. Glamorgan will hope to alter that with early wickets on the third morning.